So welcome back to our Srimad Bhagavatam study. We're on Canto 6 and today we're looking chapter number 18. B.V.V. vows to kill King Indra. Not a very difficult chapter. Quite a few verses, but they go very quickly. Purports are not very long, sometimes not quickly. Anyway, begins with Sukadeva Goswami is explaining about the different sons of Aditi. Right? The sons of Aditi, there were 12 sons, right? The 12 sons of Aditi. The 11th was Upendra and the 12th was Indra. Okay. Anyway, he's on the 5th. Sukadeva Goswami starts telling about the 5th son. And then tells about the 6th son. And then the 7th son. We come up to the 10th son now. Don't know what happened to this, the 7th, the 8th and 9th. Anyway. The Indra, the king of the heavenly planets, the 11th son. Indra was the 11th son. And Upendra is the 12th son. So of course, 8th canto you hear about Bali Maharaj and Lord Vamanadev. Lord Vamanadev, that's in the 8th canto. He wants to describe the sons of Aditi are completely. Now he says, let me describe the sons of Diti. So Aditi, she was the mother of the demigods, and Diti, she's the mother of the demons, or the Daityas, as they're called. So in the sons, among the sons of Diti, of course, the two well-known sons, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, and then you've got Prahlad Maharaj, the son of Hiranyakashipu. And then Bali Maharaj comes as the grandson, Prahlad Maharaj, all coming from the womb of Diti. We've already covered 10 verses, there's not a lot. So the two sons, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, come from Diti's womb, both very powerful and were worshipped by the Daityas. Daityas meaning the sons of Diti, the demons, and the Danavas. Who are the Danavas? Huh? Who are the Danavas?
Danavas are the sons of Diti.
No, the Daityas are the sons of.
What is the difference?
Huh? Danu. They're descendants of Danu. Hiranyakashipu's wife, Kayadu, she was the daughter of Jambu and a descendant of Danu. With different, Rahu is mentioned also, how Rahu appears. And then they tell about Agastya Muni going to Ova's house, and they cooked Vatapi to him in the form of a ram. Right? And the idea was that while he was there, after eating the food, they would call Vatapi to come out. But Agastya had already digested him. They couldn't come out. Okay, Bali Maharaj, Bana is mentioned. Bali Maharaj had 100 sons. The best was Manu, Bana. Bana was the devotee of Lord Shiva. Yeah, he's the devotee of Lord Shiva. So they said he's still there. He's still standing there with Lord Shiva.
Where?
With Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva protects King Banu's capital and always stands beside him, even now. And then talks about the 49 Maruts, who were also born from the womb of Diti, right? Because we're hearing about the sons of B.V.V. So he's got the 49 Maruts. And they were born from the womb of Diti, but then they became demigods. King Indra made them demigods. So this is surprising. This gets the interest of Maharaj Parikshit. Ooh, what? They were born from the womb of Diti. They were supposed to be demons. They'd have the character, the nature of the demons. But Indra took them to be demigods. So how did it happen? He wants to understand. So this is the content, this is narrated in this chapter. The first 20 texts are just an introduction to this topic which is going to be described. Even the demons can be transformed into demigods, as the statement of this verse proves. Right? Everyone could become a demigod, anybody. The 49 Maruts had been obsessed with a demonic mentality. Why did Indra convert them into demigods? Did they perform any rituals or pious activities? Maharaj Parikshit is asking like that. They were meant to be demons. How is it they could go be demigods? So he said, kindly explain to us this reason. He said, I want to know, and all the sages present with me, we're all eager to hear about this. And then here we are in Naimisharanya, and Sutta Swami is saying, after hearing Maharaj Parikshit speak respectfully, Sukadeva Goswami, who was well aware of everything, replies. So in the purport, Prabhupada gives us some information before even telling us the story. He said, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur stresses that even though Diti was very envious, her heart was purified because of a devotional attitude. So, because we're one Diti, because she gave birth to the demons, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, so she has some envy in her heart, but she has also some devotional attitude. And so this helps somehow for the Maruts, they can become devotees. So we're going to hear this pastime, what happened. Just to help Indra, Lord Vishnu killed the two Brahmins, Haranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So because of their being killed, Diti, overwhelmed with lamentation and anger, she wants to get revenge. Indra killed my two sons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. He's a hard-hearted person. He should be killed. And she's planning how she could. Here you can see.
Indra didn't kill Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So Indra has not killed them, no? Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu.
Well, Indra, he somehow she blames Indra for it.
That's
I think it's because he's the one who went to Lord Vishnu. to
Indra has
complain.
complained to Vishnu that he is disturbing me. So Lord Vishnu has killed him.
Yeah, Lord Vishnu did it to help Indra, just to help Indra. Lord Vishnu killed the two brothers. They did it to help because Indra was.
She should take revenge from Lord Vishnu, no? She should not take revenge from him.
Well, where to find Lord Vishnu? Hiranyakashipu was looking for him, like Hiranyaksha, he's hidden himself in the hearts of everybody. He couldn't find him. So they gave up. Anyway, she blames Indra for it. That Indra instigated the killing of her two sons. So he said, Indra is cruel, hard-hearted, sinful. When will I, having killed him, rest with a pacified mind? So this is the thinking of Diti. Diti wants to take her revenge. He's killed the two brothers. And then she's talking about the bodies when they're dead, then transformed into worms, stew, and ashes. So she's saying, if one is envious of other entities, he surely goes to hell. She said, she's claiming that Indra was envious of
She is describing here that the body has no value. Then why she is lamenting for that body?
Well, she's not lamenting for the body, she's just lamenting for her own situation. That she lost her two sons. But she's very attached to the body. But Diti thought, Indra considers his body eternal. Thus he has become I therefore wish to have a son who can remove Indra's madness. Let me adopt some means to help me in this. So she's thinking how to do it. How can I have a son who can kill Indra? That is her thinking. I'll get a son, and that son should be able to punish Indra. So how does she do it? She begins to serve her husband. Right? Kashyapa had many wives. How many wives did he have? 17. And prominent among them were the two, Diti and Aditi. So Diti, she's serving Kashyapa, and she's being very faithful, and she's doing whatever Kashyapa wants, and she's showing a lot of love and humility and control, words spoken very sweetly to satisfy her husband, and with smiles and glances at him, Diti attracted his mind and brought it under her control. Kashyapa doesn't know what she wants yet. But women have that ability, certainly. She was one of the wives, and so she was able to do these different duties, decorate herself, please him, and satisfy his senses. So he became very pleased with her. Right? Did we see this any other time? Where the woman will tell the husband like that?
Kardama and the Deva.
Devahuti and Kardama Muni. Devahuti, she's living with Kardama in the ashram. She's very humble, serving there. Yes. Any other situation? Is there any other time we're talking about husband and wife relationship?
Draupadi, she's our friend.
Who?
Draupadi. During the exile, she was serving them.
During what?
Exile.
Oh.
1 year exile. No, 12-year exile.
Oh.
She was feeding them and she would eat after that. And Lord Krishna said, we need to learn from her how to serve husband.
There's Shiva and Sati.
Shiva and Parvati.
And Sati, when Sati wants to go to the yajna and they weren't invited, and so Daksha and Shiva are having this chat, and he's like, "Oh, you shouldn't go where you're not invited or welcome." Like that.
If Parvati wants to go to the yajna. Okay. So, Diti is behaving in this way to get her husband under her control. She has some desire. So her husband promises that he will fulfill her desire. Right? The duty of the husband to keep the wife happy, to fulfill all her desires. And here, Sukadeva Goswami is describing this. He's describing that in the beginning of creation of Brahma, we saw that the living entities were unattached. So to increase the population, he created women from the better half of man's body. For women's behavior carries away a man's mind. So this is nothing we're unaware of. We're all aware of this situation. And Prabhupada said this is not only in human society, but also in other species. Sometimes I watch the birds. You know, they come and sit on the balcony outside my room, and I can see the birds, and I see how they sit, and they have so much affection for each other, and they come and they sit, they talk to each other. When they get all wet, one will come and peck the other, and clean the other, and dry it up. You can see they have relationships with these little birds. The jackals, even the jackals, they have families. They live together. They'll have a hole in the ground where they live. They come out at night. The jackals, their family. And the dogs and things. So it's there in all species. It's not unique to the human species. So the illusion acted upon Kashyapa, although he was very learned and advanced in spiritual knowledge. But even though he was so learned and advanced, but still he got taken in by this woman. So
did the second time, right? Even before Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, Kashyapa was lured into having sexual intercourse with her That at the wrong time. The second time again.
Yeah, she did this to him before, right? Diti had,
Same person, same.
she had seduced
Yeah.
the Kashyapa, and he warns her that his children will not be very good. But then he told her also his grandson will be good. A good grandson. So he has this problem. Anyway, she's going to get purified here.
Mm.
In this chapter, you'll see that Kashyapa is like he's learned his lesson, and he's able to think. He's thinking how to help her to purify her, because she wants a child who can kill Indra. But Kashyapa, he doesn't want to kill Indra, so he thinks how to change her mentality. So you'll hear how he arranges for her transformation, to change her way of thinking. So it says Kashyapa was very pleased by the malbehavior of Diti, and he tells her, I'm very pleased by your behavior. You may ask me for any benediction you want. So she tells him that here is this Kashyapa speaking here? Then Kashyapa is still speaking. The husband is the supreme demigod for a woman. The supreme personality of Godhead, Lord Vasudeva, the husband of the goddess of fortune, is situated in everyone's heart and is worshipped through various names and forms of the demigods. Similarly, a husband represents the Lord as the object of worship for a woman. Right? The wife see her husband like that. And Prabhupada said, if women who are usually very much attached to their husband, if they worship their husbands as representative of Vasudeva, the women benefit. Right? You can worship your husband, you'll be benefited. And he gives the example of Ajamila, who was calling his son. And then he talks about Guru Pati Guru, the husband's spiritual master. If husband and wife are attached to one another for advancement in Krishna consciousness, their relationship of cooperation is very effective for such advancement. As long as one is very much attached to material sense gratification, the worship of the demigods or the worship of one's husband is recommended. So for people who are very attached, they can do like that. They can worship their husband, and they will get some benefit, they will get some purification. So he's encouraging his wife, oh my dear wife, whose body is so beautiful, oh, he's telling her all nice things. A conscientious wife should be chaste, should abide by the orders of her husband. She should devoutly worship her husband as a representative of Vasudeva. Do women do that today?
Artificially. Artificially they do.
There is a Karwa
Hey, you
Chauth.
can't generalize.
Huh?
You can't generalize.
I said I'm North India.
There is a
Not every woman is the same. Everyone is different. You can't speak for everyone.
There is a Karwa Chauth Vrat, Maharaj. Karwa Chauth. there is a vrata which is mostly followed in the northern parts of India. Women fast for their husband's long life, and then they do puja of the husband, and then the husband feeds her the first morsel after fasting. These traditions are there.
We still do it, don't we?
Sorry?
In villages like that.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
In
No, it's
villages,
there in villages, more prominent. Even cities, women don't fast normally nowadays.
We do it in England also. All
Really?
the women, so many women do Dharma Chok.
but every
There's one in
village-
Gujarati custom, there's one day as well.
Punjab is going big, right?
Nowadays they have lists. I fast for you, give me all this.
Shadi. And what is it? Sweet.
Oh, expensive.
Okay.
So much expensive.
So Kashyapa says, my dear gentle wife, because you have worshipped me with great devotion, considering me a representative of personality of Godhead, I shall reward you, fulfilling your desires, which are unobtainable for an unchaste wife. So chaste wife, very important. So Diti tells her husband, oh great soul, I have now lost my sons. If you want to give me a benediction, I ask you for an immortal son who can kill Indra. I pray for this because Indra has killed my 2 sons. So it's unusual. She wants a son who would not, an immortal son. Do not die like ordinary human beings. So Prabhupada says demigods, they're described as being amrityam. They have a very long duration of life. Material world, everybody has to die. Nobody can expect to live forever. Everyone's going to die at some point. And some people live longer than others. Well, Brahma's life is there, very long. 12 hours of Brahma is only 4,300,000 years. It's just one day, or half a day of Brahma. So he's a long life. And so she wanted a son who would be equal in status to the demigods. A son with a very long life. We heard about Chitraketu, he had a son, and that son had a very short life. Right? But she's asking, Diti wants a son with a long life. So when Kashyapa heard that she wanted a son who would kill Indra, then he thought, oh no, alas, now I face the danger of the impious act of killing Indra. So he doesn't like that, naturally. I have now become too attached to material enjoyment. And he talks how he understands his wife has tricked him. I had been attracted by the illusory energy of the Lord in the form of a woman, my wife. Therefore I am surely a wretched person, I will glide down toward hell. So he feels very regretful that he had offered his wife some benediction. So he says, however, she is not to be blamed. This woman, my wife, she follows her nature. She is not to be blamed. But I am a man, therefore condemnation upon me. I am not at all conversant with what is good for me, since I could not control my senses. And so this is the problem. He's not blaming his wife. You can see the good qualities in Kashyapa. He understands the nature of his wife. And he blames himself. That he's allowed himself to be tricked. He should be more in control, more careful about giving benedictions to his wife. So a husband has to be trained in the beginning. And Prabhupada talks about, he quotes, Pralad Mara Komara Charitra. No? From the beginning of life, people have to be trained. Brahmacharya. If you get somebody trained as a brahmachari, then he can make a good householder, he can be a good father, he can be a good husband. And then the relationship can be nice. So household, Prabhupada writes, householder life in this Kali Yuga is extremely dangerous unless both the wife and husband take to Krishna consciousness. So this is the important part. In order to have nice, happy, constructive family life, a husband and wife, then they should both be in Krishna consciousness. Then they can help each other progress. Prabhupada quotes the 12th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, which says the relationship between husband and wife in the Kali Yuga will be based on sexual power. So that's the sorry state of affairs in the Kali Yuga. And we try to change that. Of course, our devotees can show the example of ideal family life. So Kashyapa describes more about the nature of women. You know, the face is attractive and beautiful, her words are very sweet, but her heart is like the blade of a razor. In other words, can cut you to pieces. Right? The heart, we should understand to be extremely sharp, like the blades of a razor. In these circumstances, who can understand the dealings of a woman? So, Diti wants to kill Indra. So that's pretty heavy, you know. She's blaming Indra. He wants to kill him. She's not going to kill him himself. She wants to have a son who she'll bring the son up just to kill him. So Prabhupada talks about women. He said how Lord Chaitanya was very careful about women. You don't want to see a woman's face. You don't want to hear them singing. Women like to sing. You don't like. We shouldn't hear their voice. It's not good to even see their face. And Prabhupada talked that Vishwamitra was a victim of Manika. Lord Chaitanya was very careful. So Kashyapa is giving very important instructions. Shastras advise that when a woman comes to serve a man, she should be considered to be like a dark well covered by grass.
Maharaj,
yes?
in the present situation where it is inevitable that you will talk to opposite gender or hear their voice or singing even kirtan, all those things, then how to apply these principles?
How to apply this principle? Well, just keep a distance. Keep away.
You can't avoid seeing face or singing voice.
Yeah, but you don't need to meditate on them. You don't need to be sit and look at them all. You know, Prabhupada talks about cinema songs. You got so many women singing cinema songs and how they make a lot of money. They got pretty faces and very popular, but you know, it's just a business. You know. We don't want to get too much and waste too much time meditating, seeing these things. Lord Chaitanya heard somebody singing and he became attracted. The singing was so beautiful. He began running towards the song where the person was singing, and Swarup Damodar grabbed him and said, "My Lord, it's a woman!" and Lord Chaitanya said, "Oh, you've saved my life." So we have to be careful, because sometimes, women can sing so beautifully, so nicely. It can be very attractive. But men can also sing.
Maharaj, what about the other way around? Because obviously women can also become attracted to the men singing as well. They're like, oh, he's such a great kirtanair, and I want to get to know him and possibly make him my husband in the future. So there's equal danger the other way around also.
Oh yeah, it works both ways. What we're saying for the men, for the women, you have to understand the other way. Yeah? That's why the ladies have their own Vaishnavi Sangha, and we have Vaishnavi Kirtan. Not that all the time you have to see the men doing it. The women can also, they can do their own Kirtan.
But I heard, Maharaj, that for a man, the sight of a woman is a distraction. For a woman, it all the way, till the time of touch, there is no distraction. So for man, it's more dangerous, because the sight of a woman itself can elude the mind of a man. So Prabhupada also told in this previous purport. But for a woman, apparently, till the time there is no touch, the distraction is not so high. That is the reason the Shastras are more elaborate on the distraction of a woman rather than the distraction of a man. Though it is true. So, this is what I heard and read somewhere. I wanted to come up. In this purport, Prabhupada says about the mind getting captured by the woman's face itself.
Yeah. So Prabhupada's quoting different things here. The Chanakya Pandit also, the two persons should not trust a politician and a woman. We have to be careful in dealings with the opposite sex. That's the point. If you're in a woman's body, then you're careful in dealing with men. And men have to be careful in dealing with women. And Prabhupada says how sometimes our movement is criticized because there's so much mingling between men and women. Traditionally in the past, there were only men in the temple, very few ladies. In the time of Bhakti, Siddhanta, Saraswati, there were very light. There was only a few, maybe old widows or something there in the temple. There were no young women, right? And Prabhupada, of course, went to the Western world, and he saw how men and women mixed together, which doesn't really happen in India so much. At least it never used to happen. It's a bit more common now, but in Prabhupada's time and in the past, women were kept away. Women were controlled and reserved. They wouldn't mix freely outside of marriage and without marriage. Women and men wouldn't contact each other. But when Prabhupada went to the Western world and he saw the situation in the West, and then also women started to come. And women started to come and women also came and wanted initiation. So Prabhupada, he didn't think the women would come. He thought the men would come. He didn't think women would come. So when the women came, he thought, okay, they want to do devotional service, give them a chance. So he accepted them and initiated them, engaged them in devotional service. And because Prabhupada did that, because he allowed women into the Krishna consciousness movement, so the movement was more successful. And if you just had a movement of only men, it's a bit different. The atmosphere is a bit different. So you have to accommodate everyone. Lord Chaitanya's movements for everyone. Sriyo Vaishyas Tata Sudras Tepiyanti Paramgatim. Even though we be of lower birth, we can achieve the supreme destination. So women can also go back to Godhead. It's not just men. So we have to give women also the chance. And Prabhupada, at one point, he criticized the devotees in the UK that men and women associate too much with each other there. He said that about things in England, I remember. In the USA, they were a bit more strict, you know. The men and the women, at least they used to be. Now, of course, we don't have big numbers of devotees staying in the temple. It's more congregation.
It is harder for the men, though, I feel, because like at Bhaktivedanta Manor we have weddings as well, and all these women are coming dressed beautifully, and some of their dress is not always appropriate as well for the temple, you know, when the guests come. So it's very difficult for them. So then they made this policy that on the day that there's weddings, all the men go out on Sankirtan. So they'll go out and, you know, and distribute books, especially on a Saturday when all the weddings are on.
All the weddings are usually on Saturday, yeah?
They used to be on on Saturday, now they're every single day of the week, so I don't know what they do. But they disappear, you don't see any brahmacharis around when the wedding starts. Yeah, I don't know if they go into their quarters or what they do, but it's hard for them.
Brahmacharis are against not supposed to go for a wedding.
No, but the wedding's happening at the manor.
Oh.
So it's like you imagine in the temple room that you're there, there's the wedding's happening there, and your service is there, and you're looking after the deities. It's all mixed under one roof.
In Calcutta, they have a separate place for weddings. If you go to Calcutta, you know they have a whole building actually with a garden and everything, and they have the wedding functions there, and it generates a good income. It helps a lot for the preaching in Calcutta.
Govinda's restaurant.
Huh?
Govinda's restaurant is also there.
Yeah, the Govinda.
They've got a new hall now. They've got a separate hall as well, but they're still going for darshan and things like that and hang out at the temple.
They do the weddings in the hall.
In the hall. Yeah.
They do fire yajna there in the hall.
Fire yajna in the halls. Everything's in the halls. But all of the, both sides of the family will go for darshan in the main temple room. And
yeah, after the wedding.
Yeah,
go
before or after.
Okay. And then in Mumbai, Juhu, they have a lot of functions there. They have all those halls there. I mean, not originally, but what happened was they bought out the people who were living on the land. And after they bought out the people who were living on the land, then they put up all these, made this, what's it called, heaven on earth thing. And they have all kinds of functions. It's different halls for functions and meetings and seminars and weddings and all kinds of stuff. It's a business. Will generate a lot of income.
But it's good because, especially in England, there's those people who wouldn't normally come to the temple, and because they've been invited to the temple, they experience this new atmosphere that they wouldn't have experienced before. So we actually make a lot of devotees from weddings as well, because they're like, oh, this is such a beautiful place, it's so lovely, would have never thought of, coming here, especially when there's mixed weddings between like Indian and white British people. So in that way, it's kind of preaching a little bit as well.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have the facilities to do these things, then it helps, Big temple, you have places, you want people to come. So Prabhupada said, we therefore request all the members of the Krishna consciousness movement, both men and women, not to be attracted by bodily features, but only to be attracted by Krishna. Then everything will be all right. Otherwise, there will be danger. Okay? So Kashyapa is still talking about the nature of women. He's had some experience himself. So Prabhupada said women are self-interested by nature. Therefore, they should be protected by all means, so that their natural inclination to be too self-interested will not be manifested. Women need to be protected by men. That's why women need to get married. Then there's someone supposed to be able to protect them. But often it doesn't happen. The women are not protected so well. Women must be cared for so that they will not be free to manifest their natural tendency for gross selfishness. So, of course, devotee women are not in the bodily concept of life, so it's not a problem for them. Krishna, if they're in Krishna consciousness, then women are not a problem. A man should be trained to be a first-class devotee of Lord Krishna, and a woman should be trained to be a chaste follower of her husband. That will make the lives of both of them happy. Difficult to implement that in non-devotee society. When you get out of devotee society, away from devotees, talking to non-devotees, then it's very difficult. Women just follow the husband. Usually, the woman's the dominant party at home. In some countries, the woman is a controller. The man follows the husband. The man follows the wife. Man follows the wife. One devotee told me, he said, I never have any problems at home. I've learned my wife is always right. Otherwise, I just argue. I just accept wife is right. Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
In England, they wear these really funny T-shirts. On the T-shirt, it's like, I don't need Google. My wife knows everything.
Yeah.
And she's always right.
Boss is always right. Boss is always right.
So Kashyapa said, I promise to give my wife a benediction. So this promise cannot be violated. But Indra does not deserve to be killed. The solution I have is quite suitable. So he has a solution. What is his solution? Engage his wife in devotional service. And he makes her promise, for 1 year, you have to practice, you have to do this, you have to do that. There's so many rules and regulations. What she's got to do, you can't get angry, you cannot lie, you cannot, so many things. And you have to be very pure. What you have to eat, how you have to dress. And you, just like you come to the temple, you start coming to Krishna, there's so many rules and regulations. Oh, I'm sorry, Mariji, no, you have to tie your hair up, you can't have your hair all hanging over, you see, I saw women from England, oh my God, all the hair hanging all over the shoulders, none of them tie up their hair. Young girls coming to the temple, have their hair hanging over everywhere, don't tie it up. You're supposed to cover the hair, tie the hair up a bit. But this is the rule, right? When they come to the temple, they're supposed to cover their hair, have their hair tied up. So Kashyapa tells his wife all these things. Have to do all this, in what direction you're supposed to sleep, have to wash your hands and everything after eating before you cannot lay down during the sunrise or during the sunset, and so many different things that he gets us to agree. He said, if you do all this for 1 year, then you'll get your wish will. But if you deviate, if you make oneness, then you'll get a son who is a follower of Indra. So this is what happened.
Maharaj, these rules like don't sleep during sunset or sunrise, people are still following North India. I mean, in villages, people follow even now.
Oh yeah.
They follow it. They don't.
Yeah, natural instinct. Yeah. You don't want to be sleeping in the morning as the sunrise is coming. Prabhupada wanted us to say, have to all get up by 4 o'clock in the morning. And sleeping, the boys in the Gurukula, that traditional Gurukula, they're trained like that. You know, they don't sleep at all in the daytime. No sleeping in the daytime. They get up early and they sleep early. Bhakti Vinasa also said, he said, 1 hour at night is worth 2 hours in the morning. If you sleep earlier in the night, then it's equivalent to 2 hours. When people sleep, they come sleep after midnight or something, you know. And you don't get the same rest, but if you sleep earlier in the night. So this kind of rules, they're for our good health actually. According to Ayurveda, they're very good. So Kashyapa, Prabhupada paraphrases her thinking, Kashyapa saying, I will train her in such a way that instead of thinking how to kill Indra, she will become a Vaishnava, a devotee of Krishna. If she agrees to follow the rules and regulations of the Vaishnava principles, the unclean core of her heart will certainly be cleansed. Just by following these rules and regulations, people will clean the heart. So we see people coming. Prabhupada said it can purify even the dirtiest class of men and transform them into the topmost Vaishnava. So Kashyapa promises his wife, I will give you a wish. And so he said, you have to follow what I say. He said, if you follow my instructions for at least 1 year, you will surely get a son who will be able to kill Indra. However, if you deviate, you will get a son who will be favorable to Indra. So this is how they got the marriage, right? The word Indraha refers to an asura, but it can also refer to one who follows Indra, who is obedient to him. Your son will kill Indra, but he will be very friendly to the demigods. Practically, we can just about finish these 2 chapters this morning.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes.
Very nice.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
They'll write down tomorrow.
Give you the afternoon off.
General.
No need to, because there's not a lot in that last chapter. You know? The last chapter is just about what she had to do. So if a person become a friend of the demigods, he will certainly not be able to kill Indra. So indeed he said, I accept your advice, I will follow. Tell me what I have to do, what will not break the vow. This eager, Prabhupada said, this is another side of a woman's psychology. Even though a woman is very fond of fulfilling her own plans, when someone instructs her, especially her husband, she innocently follows, and she can be trained for better purposes. By nature, a woman wants to be a follower of a man. Therefore, if the man is good, the woman can be trained for a good purpose. Right? Women like to follow a man. So, we have to train them for a good purpose. Prabhupada trained them, go out and distribute books. Send the women out to distribute books. Bring more men. Send the women out, bring more men. So Kashyapa starts to give instructions to his wife. First of all, to follow this vow, do not be violent or cause harm to anyone. She wants to kill Indra. The first thing you tell her, do not be violent or cause harm to anyone. Do not curse anyone. Do not speak lies. Do not cut your nails and hair. Do not touch impure things like skulls and bones. Right? Okay. So this is the first stage in Krishna consciousness, following this. Never enter the water while bathing, never be angry, do not speak or associate with wicked people.
How can you not enter the water while bathing?
I can't understand what they mean. Do
What do you
not
mean by never?
never enter the water while bathing.
Like don't bathe in tub.
She has to stay on the side.
Don't bathe in tub maybe. Don't bathe in tub, you know, the
In
water
a
tub.
tub. Oh. Never enter the water while
But
bathing.
even then, if you go to the Ganga, you have to enter the Ganga to bathe.
Yeah. I also not very clear. Anyway,
But why Maharaj is told not to cut the nails and hair?
well, that's it. Hasya. Just like Chaturmasya. In Chaturmasya, if you observe Chaturmasya, don't cut the nails, don't shave, don't cut the hair.
But Maharaj we do, no? Maharaj we do.
Huh?
We do in ISKCON.
You do in ISKCON?
Because we shave the head.
Yeah, we don't follow Chaturmasya very strictly. But if you follow it very strictly, that's what you have to do.
Because if we keep our bodies very neat and clean,
Yeah.
it increases bodily attachment to the body. But if we don't care, don't cut our nails, our body will become not very attractive,
Yeah.
and it will humiliate us also.
For Westerners, you know, people in the West, because we're coming from hippies, they all have long hair and stuff, you know. So then if you don't shave and you don't cut your hair, you become like a hippie again, you know. The beard, the long hair, you know. It's not, Prabhupada like clean shaven. But if you're following Chaturmasya, if you're making a vow, you do a lot of chanting. The real vow is to increase your bhakti, like Ekadasi. You know, it's not just fasting, but it's do more chanting, do more hearing. So Chaturmasya means to increase your chanting, reduce your eating and sleeping, and do more chanting. So for a woman also, you know, women like to cut the nails, and polish the nails, and cut the hair. They spend a lot of time taking care of the nails and the hair and these things. So that the thing is, you want to minimize the attention on the body. So this is the idea. I mean, she's doing this Kumsabana vow to get a child.
Maharaj, Sarartha Darshini says that you should not enter the water, do not bathe by entering into the river. Means you have to be on the banks of the river and have a bath.
Ah, take you back on the side of the river,
Yeah,
not in
that's
the
right.
river. Yeah, yes, certainly. You don't bathe in the river. You know, people, they go in the Ganga, they take soap in the Ganga, it's very bad. But you should take a bucket of water and bring it out to the side and take you back on the bank of the river, not in the river.
But
Okay?
we take 3 dips, no?
Huh?
We take dip in
You
the
can take a dip, but don't take it bath. Don't start putting soap on your body when you're in the river.
in
That's
the
not.
swimming pool at home or in the society swimming pool. If you are going there, before that you have to take bath in the bathroom, wash your body, then go to swimming pool, like
Yeah. Okay.
so that water becomes remains pure.
Yeah.
That is the rule.
Yeah, it should be clean. Okay. And then some more things. Do not eat contaminated flesh or fish. Do not eat Durga Prasadam. Do not eat anything bought or touched by a Sudra or seen by a woman in her menstrual period. Do not drink water by joining your palms. And then some more. Do not go out in the street without washing your hands, feet and mouth. Do not go out in the evening with your hair loose, nor should you go out unless you are properly decorated with ornaments. One girl I knew, a Russian girl, she was studying Bharatanatyam in South India, and she went to a college there, and they had the rule, they have to wear a necklace, they go to classes, they have to wear some necklace, and the dress, they have to wear sari, and the hair also has to be tied, like that, and so many things. This is culture. Right? Should be a decorate, there should be a necklace or something, ornament on the neck. But to get women to tie their hair, that's a problem. Try to get women all the time. They don't like it, especially young girls. They come with that.
Because it's style nowadays, Maharaj. It is brought up by the movies that the heroines in the movies are leaving their hair open. So it is a style among youngsters to leave the hair open.
It's really.
It was,
But when they come to the temple, that's really not.
it was not so prevalent when I was growing up. Many years ago, it was not so prevalent. I think it's nowadays.
And you see companies like airlines often, they have the air stewardesses, they all have to tie their hair back, tie their hair off. Often, if the company is really efficient, really on the toes, the shop people in the shops, like store people have the girls, they have to tie their hair.
That's more of hygiene and keeping the place clean, or else the hair drops and everybody.
Yeah, it's hygiene. Yeah. It's important. It's good for hygiene, it's good for culture. Okay, and then she's also told you should not leave the house unless you're very grey and sufficiently covered. The Prabhupada says Western mini skirts, something, mini skirts. And you get women coming. If you go to a Buddhist temple in Thailand, they have a notice outside the Buddhist temple. They have a box with cloth there, and they tell you cover your body. Because in Thailand, it's a hot country, tropical country, and women often come in shorts and like that. And so they don't let them go in the temple like that. They have to cover, they have to take one of the pieces of cloth and tie it around their body to cover themselves.
Even in Abu Dhabi or Dubai, where you have got the mosque, we are allowed to go inside. They keep abayas, the burqa, whatever it's called abaya. So they keep it there, and then the women are supposed to take it, wear it, cover their at least till their hair, and then only come inside.
Yeah. I had a group of Chinese devotees come, and we were in Malaysia, and we went Marichi Prabhu, he wanted to take them to see the national mosque there in Kuala Lumpur. So they said, you can come in, but you all have to put this hat on. And they gave everybody a hat to put on, to cover their head. And they gave them cloth also to wrap around themselves. That was the mosque. And the temple in Thailand, the Buddhist temples, they have this box with a cloth there, and you must cover your body. But we don't do it. Somehow, You go to a Hindu temple or ISKCON temples, you know, and people come in any old way, you know, they come in, you know.
In Bali, they've got for Brahma Vishnu Mahesh temple, same, like even my husband was very short, so even he had to wrap a cloth around him and also cover his shoulders, so he had to wear a cloth over here and underneath, so for both men and women. And in Hungary, in the temple, Shiva Maharaj's temple, there's a notice there, very clear notice, there's like a barrier there, that do not come in if, and they've drawn pictures of what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. And I just think that we need to do that a little bit more in our temples so that we understand the etiquette and the behaviour. So we just need to do that more in our temples. I feel like there should be a sign.
Yeah, it should be.
Like even at Bhakti Vedanta Manor, the Western people, when they come, they feel, oh, we're going to the temple, so automatically they wear longer skirt or a top that covers their shoulders. But the Indian women who are from India, not the British Indian, they'll come with short skirts. Like they've come as a guest to England to do touring, and they'll come to the temple with really short skirts on. So it's becoming a problem at the manor as well. So they're saying we need to put a sign up saying what is appropriate clothing and what's not appropriate clothing to come to the temple, because people are not understanding. And even in the Gurdwaras now, the Sikh temples, we've got a big sign. Before it was just cover your head.
Oh, good one.
Before it was just cover your head, but it's like men and women. The legs should not be showing and the shoulders should not be showing. So please do not enter if you're not dressed appropriately.
Yeah.
In Mayapur, we don't allow men in shorts. Women
In Mayapur's good. You've got the men on the security. Everybody has to come past security. They stop them if they're not dressed properly.
Yeah.
Very good.
They ask them to tie the hair also. Ladies supposed to tie their hair. They can't just leave hair.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
The security.
Very nice. Yeah, I was shocked. One lady from Malaysia, she went to London, she did a seminar there in Soho, and she showed me some pictures. And the young ladies there, they all, and I said, what? I said, this is a temple? I said, how is it like this?
It's really hard to tell them. Like, we've got a lot of youth in the UK, so when they, like in my generation, whenever there was an event, my mentor used to stand by the door with a bag full of hair ties. So as soon as a girl used to walk in, her hair was untied, she stopped saying anything, she'd just give it to them as they were walking in. And if they wouldn't take it, they were not allowed in the room. But even now, even the elders are fed up of saying something because they just come and their hair is down. And they're like, oh, my spiritual master never told me to tie up my hair. But that's not the spiritual master's duty to be telling you A, B, C, D. You should know this yourself. They're here to guide you spiritually about how to elevate yourself, not to tell you, oh, you should tie your hair up or not grow a beard. And it's definitely, I'd say, in the UK.
Well, the spiritual master should have told them. I don't know why he didn't tell them. You know, they get initiation like that, somebody should have told them. I certainly tell people if you come like that, you know, I don't like that. Okay, then you should not be naked, or you should not lay down during sunrise or sunset. Putting on washed clothes, being always pure, put on turmeric, sandalwood pulp, other auspicious items. Before breakfast, worship the cows, the brahmanas, the goddess of fortune, and the Supreme Lord. Yeah. So this is all the Vedic culture. All of these different things, auspicious things. Pregnant wife should worship her husband, offer him prayers, she should meditate upon him, thinking that he is situated in her womb. If you perform this ceremony called Kum Savana, adhering to the vow for at least 1 year, you will give birth to a son, destined to kill Indra. But if there's any discrepancy, your son will be a friend to Indra. So what happened?
She accepted the challenge. She accepted the challenge.
Yeah, she accepted the challenge, and Indra somehow he understood what was happening. Indra somehow got the news what was happening, and he started to serve deity, because deity is his aunt, right? Indra is the son of Aditi, so deity and Aditi is sisters, so deity is his aunt. So Indra began to serve deity, and he would bring her kusha grass and leaves and sprouts and earth and water. He'd bring her everything for her puja and for her worship, and he would do it all at the proper time. So she became very grateful to him.
But she is doing a vrata to get a son to kill Indra, and she's accepting service from Indra.
Yes. Yes.
It's like I can't fathom this, because
it's
Drona knew that Drishtadyumna's son, Drishtadyumna is about to kill, is born to kill him, and then he already taught him the entire, like.
But they both knew. He knew that he would kill him, and he also knew that he was going to kill him.
Well, that was it. That was the glory of the Brahmana, because he's a Brahmana. Brahmana's duty is to give, right?
No, I'm saying even Drupada for that matter could have sent him to any other teacher, but he sent him to Drona himself. Like,
well, Drona was the best teacher, right? You go to the best teacher.
And Drupada also was knowing that he's a Brahmana, he has to accept that is his duty. And that duty was very firmly there.
So here Indra is serving deity, and he's serving her very nicely. He's very polite. And so she cannot refuse. He's bringing me this. But it's described here, like a hunter of a deer becomes a deer by covering his body with a deer skin. So Indra, although at heart the enemy of the sons of Diti, became outwardly friendly and served Diti in a faithful way. Indra's purpose was to cheat Diti, and he's watching her, right? He's waiting to find out some fault. If he sees some fault in her, then he's very happy, right? But he was serving her, and there was no fault. He could not see any fault with her. And he's worried, how will there be good fortune for me? Because if she completes the vow, then she'll get a son who can kill Indra. But then it happens that somehow Diti becomes weak, and then what to do? She forgets to wash her mouth, and she forgets to wash her hands and feet. She went to sleep during the evening twilight. Sometimes you're just so exhausted, she was doing the vow, she grew weak and thin, and she just couldn't control. And so she broke the vow. And so Indra understood, now's my chance. So he uses his yoga siddhis. He's got mystic power. He makes himself very small, and he enters into her womb. Because in her womb she has a child who's going to kill Indra. So Indra enters into the womb, and he what does he do? He with the help of his thunderbolt, he takes his thunderbolt weapon that eats his bones, right? Remember? He brought his thunderbolt weapon with him, and he cut the embryo into 7 pieces. But when he cut them into 7 pieces, the one embryo became 7, and the 7 different living beings, they all began to cry, oh no. They were all crying because Indra had cut them into pieces. So Indra says, don't cry, and he cuts them into 7 pieces again. He cut each piece into 7. And so there's 7, 7, 49. And this way you got 49 maruts, 49. Right?
So he's killed a Brahmana twice, and now he's trying to kill a baby, an unborn baby. That's like worse than
Well, he
Ashwagandha.
didn't kill it though.
It didn't die, but the intention was to kill the baby.
Anyway, this is the power of devotion.
Maharaj, Nayanam Chindanti Shastrani. The soul cannot be cut into pieces. There was one embryo. There was one person inside. Indra cut him with the thunderbolt 49 times. And there were 49 Maruts. 49 individual beings. How did the soul get divided?
The souls didn't get divided. More souls entered.
There is an answer in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's report to this.
Oh,
He gives three options.
The body was one. When it was cut into pieces, many other living entities entered the new body. By the arrangement of the Supreme Lord. Yeah, the soul cannot be cut.
oh. What options did you give?
Huh?
He was trying to share something.
Yeah, what did you say?
Srila Prabhupada in the purport he also explains,
Yeah,
and he takes it from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's purport, who gives three options, and Srila Prabhupada also mentions how it happened.
Yeah. He expanded the body of one into seven pieces, and then each body cut into seven other living entities entered the new body. He said just like plants, which become separate entities when cut into various parts.
So, first option is one jiva, but he ruled 49 bodies. Like mystic yogis, he can maintain several bodies, but only one jiva. This is the first option. Second option, 84 living entities entered the embryo. 49 living entities, 49 souls enter the embryo, and then they accommodated respective embryo.
Individual, they became individual.
And the third option, what happens, for example, if we cut some worm into two parts, sometimes it became two worms. What happened? Krishna is a super soul, and each and every atom is a jiva. So in our body, as many we have atoms in our body, that many souls there are.
Cells.
Souls.
And
That's many cells out there.
there's a soul inside the
In
cell.
every atom there is a soul. So, but one soul is predominating over the body. So in this way, when the embryo was cut into 49 part pieces, so 49 souls became predominating. And sometimes we cut some branch of a tree and put into the ground,
Yeah.
and it becomes a new tree. The same technology.
Alright, so the 49 living entities folded their hands and said, Dear Indra, we are the Maruts, your brothers. Why are you trying to kill us? Indra was cutting them into pieces, so then they pleaded with Indra and said, we are your brothers. We should not, we are the Maruts. Then, and when Indra saw that actually they were his devotee followers, then he said to them, oh, if you are all my brothers, you have nothing more to fear from me. So, Sukadeva Goswami then tells Maharaj Parikshit about how the Lord entered the womb and saved him from the burning Brahmastra weapon. So he said in the same way, one embryo was cut into 49 pieces by the thunderbolt of Indra, and they were all saved by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. And so, then, we hear about the benefit of worshipping the Supreme Lord. Deity worshipped Lord Vishnu for almost 1 year. And because of strength in spiritual life, the 49 Marus were born. So although they were born from the womb of Diti, and Diti is the mother of the demons, they became demigods by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Because Diti had been doing devotional service for 1 year. She'd been cultivating her devotion without knowing about it. Her motive was to get a son to kill Indra. What she got was 49 sons who are devotees, who are demigods. So Diti was completely purified. She got up from bed, she saw 49 sons along with Indra. The 49 sons were all as brilliant as fire and were in friendship with Indra. And Diti was very pleased. You know, she wanted initially to kill Indra, but she's been changed. And so she confesses to Indra that I did this vow to get a son to kill you 12 Aditya's. She didn't just want one son, she wanted to kill all 12 Aditya's. I did the vow just to get a son to kill you 12 Aditya's. And so she said, I just prayed for one son, how is it there are 49? So she asked Indra, tell me the truth, don't speak anything, what happened? So then Indra tells her, Indra, admit what happened. So both of them, instead of being enemies, they became devotees, they became friends. They were both purified. Indra got purified because he was serving Diti. Diti was doing the puja, she was worshipping Vishnu. Indra was serving Diti, he was serving her, but she was using whatever he brought, it was for the worship of Vishnu. So he got the benefit also, he also got purified. Just like people bring fruit or flowers to the temple, they bring something to offer to the deities. They don't offer it, they give it to the temple, the pujari takes it and offers it. But the person who donated it, he also gets benefit. He also gets purified. Because he brought something for the worship of Krishna. And so the same way, Indra got purified and Diti got purified. And so he's explaining, none of them died. Alright, so pretty much this is the end of the chapter. It shows us the power of devotional service. By doing devotional service, by worship of Lord Vishnu, that everybody gets purified. So Lord Krishna fulfilled everyone's desires. Prabhupada talks about the opulence of a devotee. Karmi's opulence is destroyed, but a devotee's opulence increases for the service of Krishna. Okay, we finished. That's the chapter. Any question? You can see this one. Indra said, "Oh mother, I am a fool. Kindly excuse me for whatever offenses I have committed. Your 49 sons have been unhurt because of your devotional service. As an enemy, I cut them to pieces, but because of your great devotional service, they did not die." So then Indra offers his obeisances and they go to heaven. The Marus go with them. Alright? Okay, take a break. We'll go on to do this next chapter. We'll finish the next chapter. We don't need to have another time. finish it all today.
So, basically, you're both female.